Every hero shines in the light, but the story lives in the shadows because every great story is written by its villain. Here, we unmask the faces that haunt history and fiction: gangsters, masterminds, killers, and monsters. We dive into their origins, their psychology, and the chaos they leave behind. This is the mind of villains, where the darkness tells the tales. Chicago in the 1920s. The city ran on booze, bribes, and bullets, and one man sat at the center of it all. To the press, he was Scarface. To the poor, he was a Robin Hood. But to the law, he was America's most dangerous criminal. This is the rise and fall of Al Capone. Welcome back to the Mind of Villains, the podcast where we uncover what truly makes a villain. Last time, we looked into the chaos of the Joker. Tonight, we meet a man who brought order to crime itself. A man who didn't just play the system, he owned it. Al Capone, Chicago's gangster kingpin. But here's the question. Was Capone truly evil, or just a businessman in a world that outlawed what everyone wanted? Alphonse Gabriel Capone was born in Brooklyn, 1899. A child of Italian immigrants raised in poverty, he found early lessons in survival on the streets. A teenage bar fight left him scarred, literally. The nickname Scarface would follow him forever. But in 1920, Prohibition arrived, and with it, the opportunity of a lifetime. While America went dry, Capone flooded Chicago with bootleg liquor. He built speakeasies, bribed politicians, and controlled the police. By 26, he wasn't just rich, he was an empire. But it wasn't built on kindness. Blood ran in the alleys of Chicago, spilled in the name of profit and power. Capone wasn't just a thug, he was a strategist. To him, violence was a business expense. Rivals weren't enemies, they were obstacles. And if those obstacles bled out in the street, that was just the cost of doing business. His empire ran like a corporation. Gambling, bootlegging, prostitution, protection rackets. But his most infamous act? The St. Valentine's Day Massacre. 7 men gunned down in broad daylight by Capone's men, dressed as police officers. The message was clear: defy him and you die. Yet, for all the bloodshed, Capone kept his image polished. Soup kitchens, Thanksgiving turkeys for the poor. He played the part of a people's champion, even while ruling by terror. In the end, it wasn't bullets that brought him down. It was math. The IRS nailed him for tax evasion in 1931. 11 years behind bars. Most of them spent battling syphilis that slowly ate away at his mind. He died in 1947, a broken man at only 48. But his legend? Immortal. Capone became the blueprint for every mob boss that followed. From movies like The Untouchables to TV's Boardwalk Empire, his shadow still hangs over every gangster story we tell. Capone showed us a darker truth. Villains don't always wear masks. Sometimes they wear suits, and they hand out food to the poor with one hand, while ordering executions with the other. So what do we learn from Al Capone? That villainy doesn't always hide in the shadows. Sometimes it walks proudly in daylight, shaking hands with politicians, grinning for the press, and feeding the hungry. Capone reminds us that evil doesn't always look monstrous. Sometimes it looks like leadership. And that may be the most dangerous kind of all. This was episode 2 of The Mind of Villains. Today, we walk the bloody streets of Chicago with Al Capone, the businessman of crime. But next time, we're leaving history and stepping into the streets of Los Angeles. a different kind of villain. Not a mob boss, not a clown, but a cop. A man sworn to uphold the law, who used that badge to break it. Detective Alonzo Harris, Training Day. The question is, what happens when the villain wears the uniform of justice itself?